Welcome back to another holistic 3D YouTube tutorial on Unity. And in this video, we're going to extend our look at lighting from the previous video, and we're going to look at the different modes of lights. So while you were playing around with the lights previously, over in the inspector for the light component, you might have seen there's this mode setting, and you can set it to real-time, mixed, or baked. Now we're actually looking at the difference between real-time and baked, because mixed gives you sort of the best of both worlds in a way. Real-time lighting is what we've been doing so far. Now by real-time, it means that the light actually calculates things in real time. So if we, for example, grab hold of this chair and move it around, then the shadows get updated immediately. Now, even inside of your game, if you're playing it, when these update based on things moving around in the scene, that is real time because it's always updating. Baked lighting is when the light is calculated, the shadows are calculated and all that beforehand, and then they cannot change in the environment at all. And often you do that when you have an awful lot of things to calculate shadows for that aren't going to move, and if the light's not going to move, then you just want the shadows to be baked in, which basically puts the shadow texture into the texture of the objects that you're seeing on the screen. So it gets calculated once and you never have to worry about it again. So it takes a lot of load off of the processing. So let's have a look at how you create a baked in light. So what I'm going to do in my hierarchy is I'm going to right click and I'm going to create a 3D object cube. Now there's my cube. Now I'm going to move that in. This cube I'm just going to use as a pretend window. So let's just say this is my window and I'm going to just move it into my wall. Just want it showing just a little bit. Actually, let's put it behind the chair up there. Okay, so this is our sort of our fake window, and we want that to have sunlight coming through it, basically. So in this way, what we do is we can add an area light to the panel. So let's right click and we're going to find lighting in here, or lights, and we'll come over to area light. Now here's our area light. You can see it's shown up as a square. The light gets emitted from like this panel or this square, and it goes in that direction along the blue axis or the Z axis of it. So we want that area light to actually align with the cube that we've got sitting over here. So an easy way to do that is to get the area light, attach it to the cube. So you just drag and drop it so it becomes a child, and then you can actually set its position to 0, 0, 0, and that will attach it to the cube. And if we have a look, you'll see that it's attached right in the center of that cube, so it actually gets it a little bit closer to it. Now you'll see that it's facing downwards, and we actually want it to be rotated so that the blue arrow is coming out of this particular panel. At this point we need to rotate this light so that it is facing outwards from this window, or maybe it could be an LCD panel. And what we're going to do that is come over to the inspector with the area light selected and rotate it. Now we've got to rotate it around, I think, not the Z, and you can just play around with these until you get the right angle. So that's moving it like that. Okay, so let's set that to 0 around the X, and then we need to rotate it so that the blue comes out here. And if we rotate that around the Y, which will be 90 degrees, like that. So that's the wrong direction, so we actually want minus 90. We're now facing in the right direction for that panel. And let's just get in a little bit closer so you can see it there. And the panel is just there. Now when you are setting the area for it, you can actually grab hold of these little indicators to move it. Now this panel needs to come forward, so let's move it forward. And then once it is kind of level with that, now remember it's a light, and if it's inside something it won't be affected by it, so therefore it doesn't matter if it's inside of that cube. Okay, that's fairly accurate. Okay, so there's our area light. Now the color of it, if we have a look over the inspector, is white. Let's set it to a color so that we will clearly see it when it comes up. So let's set it to purple, and let's turn up the intensity to, let's say, 2. Okay, right, now as you will have seen, there's also a range there, which is how far it will actually emit out into the scene. Okay, so with that area light now set up, we need to bake it into the scene, because you can see that you can't see the effect of that light at all, and that's because it is a baked light. So to bake the lights that need baking into your scene, we come up to Window, and we go down to Rendering and over to Lighting. This will bring up the lighting panel. Now there's an awful lot of settings in here that we will eventually get around to, but what's most important right now is this Generate Lighting button at the bottom. So just click on that, and what that will do is generate the lighting in the scene. Now you can see that it's done absolutely nothing for me. I'm going to grab my chair and actually move it over in front of the window so that we might get a little bit of purple light on there. Now the reason that you don't get the area light on anything in the scene so far is that, remember what I said about the area light and how it's baked. In order for something to be baked and have shadows that have to exist, I guess, for the entire game environment, you don't want objects moving around that have a baked shadow, otherwise it's going to look kind of fake. If you've got like this chair shadow here, but the chair is now over here, that's just going to look wrong. So area lights only work on static objects. That means you need to set any object you want an area light on as static in order for it to show up that particular light. So select the chair in this particular case, and over in the inspector you can click on this static tick box up in the top corner. And now when we go back to our lighting panel and we click on Generate Lighting, once it's finished calculating, and you'll see a little calculation button down here, and it's also taking longer, which means it is actually generating something, because before it had nothing to generate because there were no sort of static objects. Now you can see, hopefully, that there's a bit of a glow, purple glow on that chair that wasn't there before. So if we select everything, so our plane and our chair and the walls, and click on static and change the children so they're all static, then we're going to generate lighting for that. Again, it's going to take a little bit of a while to calculate. The more static objects in the scene, the longer it is going to take. So we'll just wait for that to finish. And here comes the scene. When it finishes redrawing, we can see that we now have a purple glow in that room that's coming from this panel just here. Notice again, the panel doesn't get lit up. If you want the panel to actually be purple, okay, what we could do instead, so I'm just going to go into my materials folder and I'm going to create a new material, and let's call it purple. And we're going to add that purple material onto that panel. The panel now, we're going to change over in the inspector the color of it. So we're going to make it purple. And you can now see that there seems to be a reason why there's a purple glow in this room, because of this panel here. So just because you turn a light on and have a color on it doesn't mean that you suddenly have an object that's emitting that light in the scene. And this is where the bit of fakery in computer graphics goes on. There's actually really no connection between this purple panel and the purple glow on the wall. It's just the fact that we have a light in the scene that is connecting them. All right, so that is area lights and actually baking. And in fact, with the baking, if we grab hold of this chair, because I said it was static before, if we move it, notice how the shadow is now still there from the chair because we baked it into the scene. And in order to now update this, we have to go through the process of rebaking. And if you've been following along and doing it with me, you'll know how long it takes to do that, which is why you don't want to be doing it in a game environment with live moving objects. Okay, so that's the difference between real-time and baked lighting.